Millions of men get their testosterone checked every year, trusting that the single number tells the whole story. But these standard blood tests are often painting a highly misleading picture of a patient's true underlying biology. According to the free hormone hypothesis, 98% of testosterone is locked away by carrier proteins like SHBG. That leaves a tiny fraction, just 1 to 2%, known as free testosterone. These unbound molecules can cross cell membranes to exert their physical effects. Relying on the total testosterone number creates a massive vulnerability. If aging, obesity, or diabetes alters a man's carrier proteins, his total testosterone might look perfectly fine on a doctor's chart, while his active, free testosterone is quietly crashing. Historically, most clinical laboratories haven't even attempted to physically measure this elusive free fraction. Instead, they try to guess the amount using mathematical formulas, running a patient's total testosterone and protein levels through standard equations. These calculated estimates carry a wide margin of error. When the binding environment between testosterone and protein shifts, like in a patient with a high body weight, the math breaks down. This creates a clinical blind spot where cases of hypogonadism go entirely undiagnosed. To fix this systemic failure, a team of researchers launched a major study with a strict mandate: abandon the mathematical guesswork entirely. They realized they had to physically extract and measure the active hormone directly from the blood. Fixing the testosterone testing crisis involves moving past math entirely and applying advanced laboratory technology to the physical reality of the blood. The researchers utilized what is considered the gold standard for hormone quantification, a method known as equilibrium dialysis, followed by liquid chromatography tandem-mass spectrometry, or ED-LC-MS-MS. The first phase is equilibrium dialysis. Scientists use a microscopic, semi-permeable cellulose membrane and wait a full 24 hours. The large, bulky, protein-bound structures bounce off the wall, while the tiny, free testosterone molecules slowly slip through the narrow gaps into a separate buffer. Next comes liquid chromatography. The surviving free molecules are forced into a high-pressure chemical stream, separating and sorting themselves into distinct, organized bands based on their specific chemical properties, leaving any remaining impurities behind. Finally, in tandem-mass spectrometry, the isolated molecules are blasted with energy in a vacuum. The system fractures them into pieces to lock on to their exact molecular weight with a degree of precision the old formulas simply cannot match. Because this three-step extraction process is so labor-intensive and technically demanding, it isn't something you find at a local clinic. It is currently restricted to a few advanced research and commercial laboratories. But this painstaking microscopic sorting is the only way to establish a baseline for a patient's active hormone levels that is grounded in physical evidence rather than statistical probability. Perfecting this extraction technology in a lab is only half the battle. To know if a patient's levels are low, scientists first needed to build a massive, mathematically pure dataset to determine what normal actually looks like. The team gathered blood serum samples from 1,202 healthy, community-dwelling men. They purposefully captured a wide demographic spread, spanning every age decade from 18 to 86 years old. Then began the rigorous data cleaning phase. The researchers strictly filtered out statistical outliers and immediately excluded any men taking medications or dealing with conditions known to alter steroid hormone metabolism. The most critical filter was body weight. The researchers completely excluded men with a body mass index, or BMI, over 30. This ensured they were establishing a pristine, non-obese physiological baseline without the dampening effects of excess body fat. By combining specialized laboratory hardware with an aggressively purified human dataset, researchers established a reference interval based on the largest and most strictly screened population of men to date. This chart plots free testosterone across age decades. The steady downward trajectory proves it naturally declines by 4.5 picomoles per liter every single year. Furthermore, a second line shows carrying excess weight, a BMI of 30, crushes levels by an additional 14.4%. The sheer impact of these two variables, age and body mass, proves that modern medicine cannot rely on a single static number to diagnose every man who walks into a clinic. This data introduces a crossroads for clinicians regarding how we define a hormonal deficiency. Should doctors use a Z-score approach, which means comparing an 80-year-old man's testosterone levels strictly to the ranges of other healthy 80-year-olds? Or should doctors use a T-score approach, comparing that same 80-year-old against the peak optimal hormone levels of a healthy 25-year-old reference population? The study explicitly provides the percentile mapping for both approaches, equipping the global medical community with the hard data required to navigate this complex diagnostic choice. By replacing mathematical guesswork with direct molecular extraction, scientists have finally handed medicine a biological map that reflects reality. Future patients can now be evaluated based on what is actually in their blood, rather than what an equation suggests should be there.